Well, one of the things about 2020 is that for a lot of us, we've had the time to sit down and think, what do we really want in life? And for some people, it may be this feeling that, actually, I want to change jobs or I want to start my own business. Now, joining me in the studio is someone who has spoken to many people about this, Tanya Unkovich. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you today?
Doing very well, thank you. Now, let's talk about this one because that's a big deal, right? And it's a big, bold move to say, you know what, this job isn't for me, or I want to try something new. I want to even start my own business. A lot of people might be thinking that, but to go from the thoughts to actually doing it is quite difficult, isn't it?
It really is. And what you need to do is actually have real clarity about what it is that you want to do. Know what it is that you love doing. What are you passionate about? Why am I leaving my job? Answer some big questions before you make that move.
Because sometimes it can be a sense of, I want to change, but maybe you're running away from something and you don't really know what that change is that you want to go to.
Yeah, so it's really important that you're not just running away. You're not running away from a discomfort, but you are running towards something that you really are excited about. Because the truth is, if you've got a pattern of running away, you're just going to run away if it gets difficult once you've made that move, So have that real clarity on why you're doing it, but more importantly, where you are going and why.
Yeah, I think that's really important because I think a lot of people may feel a sense of discomfort, and this year certainly has been a very unusual one and in terms of how work has looked. But to go to something that you don't really know if you really want to go to it, it's probably not worth it in a sense.
No, you're just going to disrupt yourself and you aren't making the move for the right reasons. And it's not fair on your new employer either, is it?
Yeah. So what are some of the things that we can do in terms of making sure we know that, yes, indeed, this is the right change to make?
Well, firstly, know what it is that you want, right? Know what it is that you want in your life professionally, your vision, what it is that you've got there. Know what you're passionate about. Know what you're good at. Know the type of people that you want to work with.
Yeah.
Know the kind of clients that you want to attract one day. Things like that. You need to do a little bit of homework, do a little bit of investigating first, because otherwise if you make a step out there without having clarity on some of those things, or even the service that you're going to provide, then you're going to be wobbly. You're going to go from one idea to another or one strategy to another. But it's really important to know what the problem is that you are solving for a potential client, or what it is that you really want to do when you look for another job.
So is it a sense of something that sparks joy within you? Would you go there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Passion, joy. And, many people say, well, I don't even know what brings me passion. I don't know what brings me joy. Just start asking yourself, well, what are some of the things that used to bring you joy in the past? What are some of the things that you used to love doing? Who are some of the clients that you've loved working with in the past? And that is one way that you'll be able to map out a good, clear picture of where you want to go.
Absolutely. So is it also, you've got to ask some practical questions as well. How much do I need to make, or how much do I need to be paid? How is this going to look like on a really big practical level? Because it's all well and good saying I'm going to start a business, but it can be a very costly venture, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. And you probably do want to get a mentor or someone like that who can help you do some of that planning, but also most definitely sit down with your spouse and have a really good discussion. Yeah. Okay, what is the salary that I need in order to get to my next role? What are the actual expenses that we've got at home? So make sure that you've got all of these things documented and you have real clarity and knowing what it is that it costs you to live. And also, if you are going into a business that you haven't done before, or you want to go out and be an entrepreneur, you really do want to have a nest egg to help you in order to just have that little bit of backup, right? When you're in your first year especially.
Now, I think for a lot of people, and myself included, I've been in this particular role for many years now. I wouldn't even know what to do with something like a CV or, networking. The marketplace probably looks a little bit different these days than it did, say, 20 years ago. What would you say to a person who is wanting to step outside their role that just hasn't sort of done this for a long time? Bit nervous.
Yeah, the good thing is that there's so much online now on how to actually create a good CV. Depends on the kind of role that you're looking for. You may want to get some professional help on how to put that down, but at least start on your own. Start documenting everything that you've done. Start looking at what you can contribute to a potential employer.
Yeah.
And if you need to, if you're going for a really big role, then I would recommend maybe getting someone to help you. A lot of people need personal coaching on how to present themselves to the market. A lot of people undersell themselves. They don't have confidence. So you really do need to make sure that you're showing up as your best self when you present yourself to the market, and also when you put it down on paper, right? When you put your CV down on paper. So there's, you can start, like I said, start online or get someone to help you, like a mentor.
Because it is competitive out there, isn't it? And I
is.
think, if you are stepping into or wanting to step into a new role, no doubt there'll be other people who want to do the same thing as well. So let's talk about another option, and that is the whole idea of doing things online. Now, again, we talked about the world being a ever-changing place. This is something that is quite new, and probably for some people they're thinking, I want to get into it, but how do I do so?
Yeah. It's a big thing now, isn't it, taking your business online? And it can be done. No matter what it is that you do, there could be some way that you can do this, whether it's a done-for-you service or whether you are a coach or a consultant or a therapist. So many ways that you can actually now deliver your service online. Now, if it's something that you've never done, then I would recommend that you do some real digging deep and going, okay, what is it that I really solve? And be very specific with what it is that you're presenting to the market. Because if you aren't sure on what it is that you're going to present to the market, then the message is going to be mixed. People out there aren't going to know what you provide. So have absolute certainty in what you are good at, what you love doing, and a very specific service problem that you solve. So
again, asking the experts. Right?
Yeah, it may be, but also digging deep again, asking yourself some of those big questions. If you do work for clients, if you've got clients, think of some of the best clients you've ever had.
Right.
Think of some of the biggest problems that you've ever solved and the people who have come to you who you have loved working for. Start thinking about what you are really good at. Start doing those things, and also what pays me well. Because at the end of the day, you do need to be in profit. So
that's right.
What are the things that I can do to work this out before I go to the market, before I go online?
Because when you go online, you're not just taking it to a suburban audience, your city, you're taking it to all of New Zealand and, in fact, the world. And I think that's quite a big thing to get your head around.
You are taking it to Norway. You are taking it to Iceland. Whoever's got Wi-Fi will see your online presence. So you really do want to make sure that your website looks good and your social media is good and that you're presenting yourself in a professional manner. You don't want videos of yourself brushing your teeth and things like that online. You want to come across as very professional and know that everyone is seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, these are some big things to think about, and just thinking about our whole online presence as well, not just the things that we're going to put on our website, but all that social media as well. It is something that can be used as a wonderful tool, but also it can go a little bit awry as well.
Absolutely. If it gets in the hands of the wrong people, right, they'll share it all around before you know it. So if you really want to have it, and also a potential employer will see everything that you put online as well. So be very mindful about that.
Really important stuff.
Yeah.
Now, we started the interview by saying you've actually helped a number of people through this process. If people are wanting to find out more, perhaps talk with you about, where to next for me. I mean, it is a big decision. How can they get a hold of you, Tanya?
Well, I'm all over social media.
You
Just Google me, you'll find me there. Or my website is tanyaunkovich.com. I've got some great past REMA interviews on my YouTube channel. So there's a few there on this topic there as well.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me.
You
in
are
the
so
studio.
welcome.